Blog Talk Radio. Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard. Hi, everyone. This is Natalie Jean. Yes, this is Chatting with Nat, and today I have the honor, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, of having award-winning podcaster and Billboard charting artist Nicki Kris. Yes, I said it, Nicki Kris. Nicki Kris is an award-winning Billboard charting singer-songwriter based in Raleigh, North Carolina. Her music has captured an international audience since the soul stylings of her debut album, I Come Alive, in 2013. Her songs have been featured in award-winning movies, TV shows, and on radio stations worldwide, and she has been on the official ballot for the Grammy Awards for the past 8 years in numerous categories. Nicki's unique and powerful diva-style voice has been compared to artists Pink and Adele, as well as top female rockers of the past, Benatar and Stevie Nicks, while her songwriting takes decidedly a modern turn. Awesome. When not working on her own music or various collaboration projects, Nicki is a champion. You heard it, champion for women in the music and entertainment industry. She's the host of the award-winning podcast, Mixing It with Nicki Kris, broadcast on the SIMRadio Network, and the co-founder of Sisters in Music, SIM, an organization that promotes and encourages educational opportunities, collaborative musical works, and performances among women to raise awareness and funding for various female-focused charities. Let's give her a round of applause.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
How are you, Miss Natalie?
I'm well. And you?
I'm fantastic. Have a little bit of a sore throat, but, I'll get through it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
How have you been doing this entire crazy ass pandemic season?
How have I been doing? I've been doing pretty good. Obviously, you and I have started Sisters in Music, so yay. The podcast is kind of just like completely gotten into a life of its own. Released some songs, right? So I've actually been pretty busy, which is great, and it's continuing on into 2021. Because to be honest, I can't believe it's already August.
I know, it's kind of crazy. It's just I can't, since I'm at home, I don't remember what days are what. I'm slow. I could listen. It could be 2022 and I wouldn't know it. That's how crazy it's been for me as well. Now, one of the main questions that I ask everybody on the podcast, because we've been in a pandemic, is that, a lot of people have taken the time to self-reflect. I know I have some friends that were just like, they cut back on work because they realized they were missing time with their families. They were missing a lot of time with a lot of different things as well. And so with artists and other creatives, they took the time to self-reflect and really focus on what they wanted to do with their music and how they wanted to be viewed in regards to their music. Some people want to be an effective player. Some people want to chart. Some people want fame. But a lot of people have changed their mindset on, how they want their music to be used and how people see them as artists. Did you take the time to do that?
I'm going to say yes and no. I bounce back and forth between this because, part of me still wants what I would call recognition, right? I'm not big about charting. I'm not big about awards and things like that. You know me, and I'm very much I don't like to submit to a lot of awards and things like that. But
Right.
from a acceptance perspective, in terms of like, you know, gaining listeners or having somebody listen to my music and say, you know, that really made me feel something, or, you know, I really enjoyed this particular song, I still think that I have work to do there, right? I would love to, even though I have had success globally of having, you know, people play my music, I still haven't had like that breakthrough, if you will, right? It's still a constant grind to get my music heard, a constant grind of reaching out to people directly and say, hey, I have a new song out, you know, would you be willing to play it? It's that I do definitely still want to do, but at this same point in time, I also would like to focus more on a different aspect in like collaborating with people, writing for other people, having them record my songs, or, you know, working with co-writers and then shopping songs to other artists, and also sync placement. So I'm kind of torn because I want to be successful in my music with me as an artist and a vocalist, but at the same point in time, I sometimes say, you know, maybe I should do more of a backseat, if you will, and let others perform my music and then just work on like sync and so on and so forth. So it's a daily struggle for me, honestly.
Yeah, there's so much you can do as an artist, as a creative, in this music world that we are in. I think, why not do it all? Why not do it all? Life, you know, the pandemic has taught us many things, is that we thought life was short. It's really short. So I say go for it all.
Well, and that is kind of what I'm doing, right? That's why I said it's like a struggle, a day-to-day struggle. Like sometimes I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to release any more of my own material, but then I like hear something that inspires me and I'm like, oh my God, I would love to do a song like that. But then I'm like, well, wait a minute, you just said 2 weeks ago that you weren't going to release anything out yourself and that you were going to, you know, focus on this. So I'm just going with the flow. It is what it is.
I love it. Going with the flow. Did you do any live streaming while we were in the pandemic?
Me personally performing, no, but we had some StreamYards with Sisters in Music, so chats, if you will, ladies' night, if you will, was the primary type of streaming that I did. I actually moved during the pandemic and tore down my studio, so didn't really have the fun little studio vibe going to do the live streaming type of stuff. But yeah, that's about the extent of it. How was podcasting? Lots of podcasting.
Yes, I know you were podcasting. Tell us about your music. What was it that made you decide that you want to get into the music industry? I mean, what was it that you listened to or you watched or, you know, you were in the middle of that, like you were, whoa, I've got to do this thing. This music thing is me.
Honestly, I don't think it was one specific thing. I've always been extremely musical. Even when I was a little girl, started performing. I mean, I remember performing in, I'm going to say kindergarten, first grade, maybe, as early as that, stage show at elementary school. singing O Tannenbaum in German. I do speak German, so I did learn the song in German, and just no fear, no fear, no qualms. And I still, to this day, I never get nervous going on stage, which, knock on wood, I guess, and never, it'll always be that way. It's just always been a natural occurrence for me. And did the choir thing, all that fun stuff in high school, and just, it was one of those things that I always knew that that's what I really wanted to do. Unfortunately, like so many people, didn't have the support system behind me to really just say, go for it, right? So, like so many people say, they changed course, or, all right, I stopped this and went out and got a real job, if you will, just because they don't have that cheerleader or somebody telling them, you can do this, or, follow your dreams, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, that type of thing. So, but yeah, it was something that I always really, really wanted to do. I don't think there was any, I listened to all kinds of people growing up. Pat Benatar, still my idol. Stevie Nicks, Madonna, Michael Jackson, I had all kinds of really good artists to empower me.
Awesome. So how would you describe your music?
Is mutt a genre?
Why not?
Yeah, why not? One thing I am not, I tend to stay away from country specifically if we start focusing on genres. But, I like to say my lyrics I do think my lyrics sometimes can be almost too deep, but I like to write empowering things, but I also like to write fun things. I've kind of been, experimenting with different types of writing styles. I've actually been told by a couple people I needed to dummy down my writing, that they thought that my writing was too sophisticated for today's audiences, which, that's subjective, right? But I like to say it's a mix. I really do think it is a mix. I like to do, my first album was really like a singer-songwriter type of album, very, stripped back type of style. Then I tried to go a little bit more of like an Americana vibey type of EP, which, may or may not have been successful with that regard. And then, I tend to lean more pop, sometimes rock type of styles, but I kind of just like go with the flow, if I feel a tropical vibe, I'll record a song. That's one of the things, like, the albums that I've put out, I put on the album when I want to put on the album. I don't necessarily follow like a theme like a lot of people do, which I even think in that regard makes me unique. I try and just, if this needs to go here. I actually had somebody say to me, the Heartbeat album, they were like, why do you put a remix as your first track? I'm like, why not?
Right.
Who says I can't put a remix as my first track? Why does it have to be a certain way? So, I just kind of follow my gut and just go with what I want to do. I don't like to follow norms.
I like that. I don't like to follow norms either. It's boring.
Well,
go ahead.
I was going to say that's exactly correct. It's boring. So why shouldn't we be different?
That's right. What sets your music apart from everybody else's, would you say?
Well, I'm not boring.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I actually think uniqueness-wise, one of the things that I've always been extremely proud of is my tone. I really do feel that I have a unique tone. And that is something, I'll be very honest with you, even myself as a listener, I do when I listen to music, I listen for the tone of the individual. And I also do listen if I can understand the lyrics and if they are actually telling a story or, trying to empower with their words rather than, something that doesn't make sense. Right. And I think that everything that I've done up until this point has done that. I do have a unique tone. That is, people ask me, who do you sound like? And I say, well, I sound like myself. I mean, I may be compared to various other artists, but those artists in and of themselves in their own rights have very unique tones.
Okay, right.
So tone and probably, my words and how my music is emotive.
How important is it for you to be authentic in your artistry?
That's a tough one. I'm going to say it's important to an extent. I'm going to say it's important because, to be honest, I'll go back to the comment that somebody made to me telling me I needed to dummy down my writing. I think if I was writing something for somebody else, I could easily dummy it down. But if I'm writing for myself, I need to believe in what I'm writing.
Right.
I won't put something out as myself as an artist if I do not believe what I'm saying.
All righty. No, I like that. So we're going to play your song, Undone. Tell me, what is that song about?
So this is it's the brainchild of my long-term producer and collaborator, Kevin McNulty. He got in this James Bond vibe. So it is definitely inspired by the James Bond song. So it's that sultry, sexy type of mysterious pop rock theme-ish style song about love, of course, but then losing that love and then saying, you know what, I'm done.
Right.
Too bad, buddy. Well, buddy or person. Too bad, person. You've lost.
All righty. Well, let's play the song, why don't we? Let's play the song.
What can be said when we no longer talk? We've reached the end, our love's about to fall. And I question if it was ever meant to be. And the answer's not what you expect from me. I'd rather let it burn, 'cause that's just how the world turns. And after all is said and done, the simple truth is that we've come undone. 'cause the world just never learns. And after all is said and done, the simple truth is that we come undone. My eyes are open, but I'm not always. A double-edged sword that cuts both ways. Let it all burn and walk away. All the lies you whispered from the start. You broke down all the walls around my heart. I'm a prisoner trapped inside the dark. Heart keeps burning as we come undone. 'Cause the world just never learns. And after all is said and done, a simple truth is that we come undone. My eyes are open now, I'm wide awake. Running from the past, now I can't escape. Let it all burn and walk away. All the lies you whispered from the start. You broke down all the walls around my heart. I'm a prisoner trapped inside the dark. Watch it burn as we come undone.
Fan-fucking-tastic. It was amazing. I love it. I love
Thank you.
your voice. It has a lot of grit to it, emotions. Yeah, definitely had me hooked. I became undone as I was listening to it because it was just amazing. What is your writing process like? And if you ever get writer's block, how do you deal with that?
I'm a binge writer, which has pluses and minuses. Like I'll be honest, I have not written anything since we done, and I just I take notes, I make notations here and there, and then when I kind of get everything bottled up, it's like, okay, I need to write, and then I'll just start writing 3, 4, 5, whatever songs at a pop. I'm one of those, I like to experiment, so I don't like to do the same type of process every single time. Sometimes, especially, I'll just use Kevin, for example. If Kevin and I are writing, sometimes he gives me, like, I'm done, was the music track was done, and then maybe just like a couple of lyric prompts, and then we would bounce that back and forth, and I'd be like, yeah, no, I really like this here, or I like this, and then we kind of finish it together. But that depends, it really depends, because like sometimes I'll send him a here's a draft, here's a demo cut of something, and I've even sung some lyrics to it, and then we go to potentially work on it in the studio, and then I'm changing the lyrics because I'm like, you know what, that really doesn't make sense, or that doesn't flow right, those types of things. So, I don't have a set process, which I actually like, because it really allows you to be fluid in your process and be very accepting of alternatives or other suggestions. I think if you're very strict in your writing process, you actually get pigeonholed.
Right.
And it only has to be this way. So I actually prefer to just be very kind of loosey-goosey, if you will.
Loosey-goosey. And do you get writer's block?
Loosey-goosey. I haven't. I'm knocking on wood. You can hear me. I have not had what I would call writer's block, right? To where you're like, oh, I can, you know, and I have on occasion where I've had like a deadline and somebody said, I need something like this. I have struggled with that, but it wouldn't say it was necessarily a block. It was more along the lines of being forced into a swim lane that I wasn't comfortable with, like a very structured type of writing process to where, you know, that I was uncomfortable with that particular type of timeline and strict writing process, more so than I didn't know what to write. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Where is the strangest place you've ever written a song?
On the toilet.
Strange.
That is strange, you know. Yeah.
All right, that is strange.
You know,
you're strange.
In the potty.
In the potty is the best place. Listen, the bathroom. There's something about the bathroom because I always say the shower because I always can come up with all kinds of great music and then I have to try to remember them. But I don't know. Somebody said it's probably the acoustics or you're by yourself, and that's the time when the music just flows into your head. So I tend to agree with you. What do you love most about being an artist?
Networking, which is really probably a weird thing. I actually really like meeting other people in like the industry and learning about them. You know, I mean, you know, case in point, you, right? You know, I mean, we met through peers networking, and you know, I'm interested in learning what other people are doing. One from an, you know, I'm curious, and I think it's great that we all share this passion for music and entertainment. You know, we have a lot in common in that regard. But I also like to use it for like, you know, learning purposes and so on and so forth. I love to sit there and chat with people. You know, like you asked me what my songwriting process is. You know, that actually is one of the questions that I also ask one of, you know, my guests as well too, because I like to get other ideas from people, or, you know, what's a tip or trick that you would have that you might want to share. So, you know, those, to me, I love being in that type of role, to have the ability to meet so many different people.
Awesome sauce. That's the first time anybody said that. Everybody said, oh, you know, what I love, you know, that I affect people with my music and I can bring people together. I love.
Well, I mean, those are nice things too. And you like the fact is, you know, I'll be honest with you, the first time somebody contacted me was when, you know, they heard my song on Dance Moms, and they were like, oh my God, I just was really, you know, blown away by that song. And I was, you know, I mean, I was blown away because somebody contacted me, right?
Right.
But I actually do think that networking and building relationships, you know, it's great to have an impact with your fans, but you also need to have that impact with your peers. Because it goes back to the one saying that I say with, you know, one voice may not be heard, but millions together cannot be silenced. One lone musician versus millions of musicians, right? So you build those relationships and those collaborations and those communities. Think of the collectiveness of the unit, what the impact could be.
Right. True. Very, very true. We are going to play your song, I Am Who I Am. Tell us about what that song is about.
This is actually one of my favorites. It is a font, believe it or not. One of my favorite bands is 30 Seconds to Mars. And I actually use this as a songwriting prompt quite a bit. I take songs and I interpret them as, you know, this is how I am interpreting the song. And 30 Seconds to Mars is one of those groups that actually he leaves a lot of, you know, it's up to the listener to interpret what the song is about. So this is a response to their song, Hurricane, which I interpreted as, you know, a relationship going wrong, and this is the response to that song of, you know, the one person where the relationship has ended is basically they're saying, well, you know, you were tying me down and weren't letting me be myself, and I am who I am, and I'm going to thrive with who I am regardless of whether you're in my life or not.
Awesome. Let's play the song.
Telling myself that I need to let go. Keep telling myself things that I should already know. Keep telling myself this doesn't have to be the end. Wake up. Wake up and start again. Forever wanted was to be me, to follow my dreams and be everything I thought I could be. What gave you the right to take that away from me? Tired of fighting, trying to make you understand. I am who I am. Keep telling myself that tomorrow is another day. Keep telling myself I have the strength to walk away. Can't mistake it, I can no longer take it. No one has won. I'm free. I'm free. I'm free to be me. Forever wanted
Yeah,
boy.
that's one of my favorites.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's also really fun to perform.
I like the song. It's just gonna be stuck in my head. So you started Sisters in Music, which is a fantastic thing, and your partner Natalie Jean. How is it working with Natalie Jean, or they call her Natalie Jean sometimes?
Natalie Jean. Natalie Jean is fabulous. I actually think we make a really, really good pair because Natalie keeps it real and authentic and kind of forces me down that road too. But I also, I think we play off each other. I'm probably more of the, I would think, shy, reserved person. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I mean, I tend, I like to make everybody happy. Where I love the fact that you're more like, it is what it is, and I think that feeds off of each other. And I also think we bring various different strengths to the table that fit very nicely together. And I think between the two of us, we've done a fantastic job getting this off the ground. I mean, we're learning as we go along, trying to create something powerful and empower people. And then, I also think sometimes too, we both commiserate with each other to where we're like, can you believe this? Right?
Yeah, no, we definitely do that a lot. And how do you feel about the support that we have received for Sisters in Music? Do you think we've received a lot of, congratulations or support, or do you think, you'd like to see more? What is your take on that?
Keeping it real, I actually would like to see more. And there's a reason why I say that, because talking the talk is one thing, walking the walk is another thing.
Amen.
And I have not, it's actually very disappointing. While there are definitely many individuals who are fully engaged and fully supportive and going above and beyond, by all means, totally, don't want to discount that at all. But there are also many individuals who I'm actually a little bit surprised that, they're like, yeah, this is great. People who I would have thought would have said, oh my God, this is great, congratulations, I can't wait to join, have said nothing. There are people who have said, yeah, this is great, I can't wait to join, and they're like on board 110%. And then there's people who are like, yeah, this is great, and we've interviewed them and we've done all this stuff with them, but then they're not joining. And what's really interesting is, with the exception of a few, a lot of the support that I'm feeling that we're getting is actually from men, which is mind-blowing because, the organization was built on the premise of empowering women and lifting up women and, getting rid of the diva mentality of I'm better than you and this is a competition. And, we're also supporting men as well, but I'm feeling a lot more love from the men than I am from the women, which is, I'm keeping it real, right? It's interesting. And I don't know, I just don't know. I don't know if it's jealousy. I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's, why didn't they ask me to do this? I have no idea what it is, but, it's unfortunate because I think the two of us have this fantastic vision, and I am envisioning potentially this massively powerful nonprofit organization empowering women and young girls and spreading our message and encouraging and being supportive of all individuals. And now's the time to hop on board. Why wouldn't you want to be a part of that? That's the piece that, kind of gets me.
Yeah, it's been baffling to me too. I mean, people, like you say, some people don't walk the walk and talk the talk. Nobody has to join our thing, but they could at least be like, oh my gosh, you really are doing this? You gotta at least applaud. Hell, that's not gonna hurt them to do so. And the people that are out there doing the same thing as we are, and when sometimes we reach out and try to talk to them and they don't want to talk to them because they think that they're on a higher level, then their mission is definitely what they're talking about. They're doing the opposite.
Yep.
We're all on the same level. Obviously some people are further ahead in their career, but you know what, listen, there is no competition here. It's not that I'm saying I'm better than you. I say we're all on the same playing field because we're all out here trying to make music, to be creatives, and just to be heard. That's the bottom line.
Yep. Bottom line, and I completely agree.
And we'll just continue to do our thing. What is one What is one message or quote you like to live by?
Ooh. I'm actually going to go back to the phrase that I used previously: one voice may not be heard, but millions together cannot be silenced. I've used that quite a bit. Probably that one, and, together we are stronger is the other one that, we actually use as part of our tagline as well. But all of them encompass being a group of individuals, right? A collective group. Together we are stronger is no singular individual. And the same thing with one voice may not be heard, but millions together cannot be silenced. So it's that whole community, collectiveness, togetherness aspect philosophy. A win for one is a win for all if you look at it from that perspective.
Amen. Hallelujah. And what is one thing you wish you had known before you got into the music industry?
That there are always going to be people out there that are going to try and take advantage of you and don't believe everything that you hear. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I think young people starting out don't realize that. And even to this day, I still hear a lot of people saying, oh, this person scammed me, this person took my money, or this person said they were going to do this, and then they didn't. And I just think, there's still a lot of that going on, and it's even more prevalent today. The promise of being an overnight sensation, in my opinion, does not exist.
No, it does not. Because I'm still here. It doesn't. And one thing people need to remember, obviously that music is subjective, and that this business takes a lot of damn work. A lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. It's like a 24/7 job. It just is. And you're competing against mainstream artists, and even in sync licensing and supervision and all that stuff, you're still competing against them. And you can be lucky in getting your music into film and television, Netflix, Hulu, and all that stuff. But it's all about pushing. I had interviewed this one young girl that she loved the show Atypical on Netflix, so she wrote a song for it, and she DM'd the director, producer, and they loved it and put it in the show. So, there are ways for us to get out there. You just have to continue to pursue your dreams and do it with extreme vigor. Because this is ooh la la. I just don't think that you're going to get it and all of a sudden fame is going to come into your life. It's not. It takes blood, sweat, and tears to get to a certain place, and you'll meet some funky people, and you'll meet some great people like Nicki Kris along the way, and you'll just be so joyful that she's in your life. She's a wonderful Billboard charting artist. award-winning podcaster, multi-nominated, multi-winning artist. And has millions.
You're too kind.
And millions of streams on Spotify. Just an amazing person, Nicki. Thank you so much for being in my life, and thank you so much for being on Chatting with Nat. I really appreciate you. You have no idea how much I appreciate you, because you keep it real. You keep it 100. Even when I shake my head and I'm like, no, I don't like that.
Yeah, even when you shake your head and you say no, and you know, but you know the feeling is mutual. And again, this is why we work so well together, because we get each other and we empower each other and we embrace each other's quirks and differences. And we also tell each other when they need to shut up and step it back, right? When it's like, nah,
That's right. Yeah,
that's
real.
what it's all about.
We just keep it real, and I think that's important in friendships. And even in our friendships, we're not friends with one person, we don't go tell the other person not to be friends with that person. We let ourselves be individuals, and we have each other's back. Yep. That's what Sisters in Music is all about. We have each other's back. We have the other people's backs as well. So all of y'all out there, come on and join us, because together we are effing stronger. That's the T-shirt that's going to be made, effing stronger. But yeah, again, thank you so much for being on Chatting with Nat, and I can't wait to have you on the IG Live. I don't know, let's see what we're doing. The IG Live. Oh, I see you on August 22nd. I can't wait for that. That's going to be loads of fun. Hopefully you'll sing something a cappella or something. I'll force you to. And we're just going to have a blast. And I'm going to see you. Oh, also, congrats on your nominations in the Josie Music Awards. I'll be seeing you down there as we're rooming together.
Thank you. Thank you. You as well. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Fantastic.
Awesomeness. Yeah. No, we're going to have a blast.
And you just got, wait a minute, you just got an Indie Music Channel Award nomination too, didn't you?
Yeah, there were a couple in there. I got to make that announcement on all media platforms. Yeehaw! Yes, I got my nominations. I don't know if I'll be attending that one. I have to see, child. Too many places to be. No.
Well, congratulations on that.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate it. See, we work together well. She's a podcaster. I'm a podcaster. I didn't cry when she won Podcaster of the Year. I supported my BFF sister. People need to learn to do that. She's supporting me in the IMC, and I really appreciate that. That's how things should be. We should just be in
exactly.
No. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
Yes, right. I do.
Thank you for being on my
Thank
show.
You.
That was...
Bye, y'all.
This is Chatting with Nat with award-winning podcaster and Billboard artist Nicki Kris. Yes, that's my BFF, Nicki Kris. You can find her at www.nickikris.com. She is amazing. You'll love her just like as much as I do. Until next time, and the phone rings. Until next time, we're Chatting with Nat. This is Natalie.
Chatting with Nat is a podcast for independent women seeking to speak their truth and to break down barriers. We host honest conversations that help to guide and empower women. Speak your truth and set yourself free. Let your voice be heard.